I am a bona fide anime fan, writer, scripter, whatever. From my channel, you can clearly tell that I'm an anime page, but hear me out when I say that music is very good. In fact, I enjoy music more than anime at times because it's such a mirror of ourselves. While anime are authors writing something fictitious and reminiscent of the real world, albums are direct tellings through people who live in our world day in and day out just like us, and if you're doing it right, and for that matter if you're doing it well, then you'll realize that you can very much see these people within ourselves through an artistic expression, typically but not entirely through lyrics. So today I want to kind of delve away from the anime and manga talk and talk about Tyler the Creator's new studio album Chromakopia, my thoughts on it, what it could possibly mean both to me personally and to you, the viewer watching this, and even to Tyler himself. And don't worry, I'll be going back to anime talk later this week for anyone who cares, and you can also check out any anime video or manga video that I've uploaded. I've even talked about game adaptations and things of the sort, I suppose. The album starts off with some kind of sample, perhaps a motivational one, and transitions into a repetition of the album name and what seems like stomping, which is an extremely interesting use of sound considering the fact that it serves as the beat rather than traditional digital sound effects that make up a beat. Couple that with the synth and Tyler's flow just being him whispering, and finally the added sample coming in, the song is a masterpiece of an intro. The way the vocals sort of contrast Tyler's voice is excellent. It creates something more than just a simple song. His voice fading into the beat as the song continues and the gospel, then that fucking transition into the actual beat, the slight nuances in the beat switching to create almost something similar to a trap beat, something you would hear from 2014 Future or Gucci Mane. But as I said, there are nuances. It's Tyler the Creator. The lyrics here are also interesting. I think this song is an establishment of self, a statement of Tyler saying that he is here for the throne of rap and he's finally acknowledging himself as a great artist after years of work, which is something that is apparent through his latest persona and interviews. Saint Chroma transitions right into a classic hard beat. Tyler comes out of the gate flamboyant, egocentric, and turned to the max. As I said previously, he has something to say clearly through a bouncy and absolutely ridiculous second beat. The way that Saint Chroma's and Ratatatata, yeah, that's the fucking song name. Jesus Christ, fuck you, Tyler. But the way these two songs complement each other are excellent. A gospel, almost angelic beat with aggressive drums to a hard and raunchy one. There's nothing angelic about this second track, which was clearly done on purpose because Tyler is going to talk his shit, and he's going to do it in a way that's not innocent at all. I think it's interesting that Tyler keeps repeating the fact that he's paranoid of the average person. I think this is established because he truly is both, because of the fame and the fact that niggas are quite actually bums, as he says on the album. This plays into Tyler's next song, Noid, the lead single for the album. This track is more similar to Saint Chroma, and something Tyler doesn't get credit for is his ability to switch vocals and sing. Just something I can point out, but yes, this song is reminiscent of the first one and once again contrasts that raunchy ass style he was using on Ratatatata. Tyler is clearly paranoid of the fame he's getting, which is natural, but something the people aren't discussing here is that Tyler's paranoia can be deeper than this. Tyler could be paranoid because he's achieved the highest level of artistry, and that comes with an extreme paranoia over self. It feels almost wrong to be able to create something that genuinely resonates with yourself and everyone, and Tyler has done this on multiple occasions for 10 years now. Couple that in with the fact that people literally won't let Tyler walk around without putting cameras in his face, and there you go. There's just a certain fear that comes when you've kind of created your magnum opus. Will I create something better? Will people like this? Will I like this? It's all extremely nuanced. It's deeper than just being afraid of simple Hollywood fame. There's a shift in production and lyrical content here. This beat isn't raunchy, nor is it reminiscent of anything else on this album. It's a love song. Tyler questions his love life and how monogamy isn't for him despite being in love with a woman, and how he desires that intimacy with someone but also understands that the only thing that can truly fulfill him is music. his craft, the very thing that has caused him to become uncomfortable. There's a certain irony in that question because now Tyler poses a question both to himself while simultaneously questioning the audience. Was any of it worth it, and will Tyler ever be truly satisfied? Hey Jane keeps the story going. Tyler begins to draw you in further and goes into a pregnancy with a woman named Jane and how terrifying the realization of procreation is. He goes in on a calm and bouncy beat, slowly unraveling the love story between Jane and him, of course. The terrifying realization that he's having a child, perhaps with a woman that might not even be ideal for someone to love. He tries to play it off by saying things that it's about her and how he supports her, but that very realization I mentioned earlier is impossible to shake, and she's realizing it too. Tyler even sort of dives into a state of self-deprecation because it's not just about the fact that an abortion is happening, but it's what's to come of such a possibility, potentially losing the woman he's in love with and his very child. I Killed You changed the album in production and continues the story. Despite this, I find this song disorienting and confusing. I believe unlike every other song, it's hard to decipher because while the production is wonderful, the lyrical content is simple and subtle for the viewer to pick at like a scab. How I interpret this song is Tyler making a song to his now deceased baby that was never brought into the world, a letter to what could have been, a statement and addressing of his new gone child. I Killed You is referring to the baby, and the angelic use of samples does well to convey this. Judge Judy starts with a melodic beat that could have very well came from Flower Boy, another romance story about Jane, something Tyler has no qualms of getting into ever since his near rebirth in 2019 with his hit album Igor. In this song, I believe that he's fallen in love with the kind of woman who's wild and crazy in her actions, to which Tyler cleverly says, "I don't judge Judy," as if to comfort her and to tell her that despite this wild or strange behavior, she is still loved and respected by him, which is confirmed by the fact that Tyler says she has a free spirit, something used to describe women who are wild cards, who are hard to read and are different from others. However, this begins to bother Tyler subconsciously. Things start to fall apart between the two, and as time goes, they begin to grow apart, and Tyler simply says his goodbye. There's another shift here, and Tyler kind of dives into his extremely comedic but surprisingly fire pockets that he usually does, saying shit like, "I got both pronouns, I'm both him and that bitch," or something along those lines. The contrast between this and the rest of the album is nice, and if there's any hit song off this album that's gonna make the Billboard, then it's easily this. I have loved Glorilla's recent work, which is impressive considering the fact that I'm a straight male and she raps about Sexy Red's vocals are also used extremely well here, and of course, what's a Tyler the Creator album without some kind of Lil Wayne verse? Tyler gets back into his egocentric and his step on you mentality while creating a potential club anthem. Absolutely beautiful. Tyler the Creator then switches back, questioning and dissecting the current culture of rap. How people are growing up as non-gangsters, growing up in great circumstances with their parents, yet they want the acknowledgement and respect of the culture. So they put a mask on, which is of course the title of the song. He then jumps into questioning women's roles in relationships and the cruelty of their expectations and limiting of what they're truly capable of. The samples of what seems to and what I've heard to be his mother continue. I think it was a really great song. Tyler is a master of dissecting the culture by using his experiences as well as his own self and others as examples. A questioning of the world that almost nobody else really does, to be honest. On the song Tomorrow, it starts with a woman asking for a grandchild. Once again, a conversation between Tyler and his mother, how Tyler is getting older, and the question of fatherhood falls on him, which is strange because from what I was hearing, he did have a daughter of some sorts on Call Me If You Get Lost, something that he was pretty open about, but take this with a grain of salt for two reasons. One, I may be outright misremembering shit, but also two, even if I'm not, Tyler is a very subtle storyteller. He's interestingly says things to be cryptic, and if he does have a daughter, he has every right to keep his personal life private, which is unironically something he addresses multiple times in this album. It's a very masterful way to establish and say something. Tyler, the Creator, almost critiques himself and his feelings in a meta way in order to portray just how paranoid and scared of life he is. Chromakopia has been perceived as something that's the same as other albums conceptually, and I absolutely do not agree. Perhaps it is sonically, but that's natural because Tyler has a certain style. His voice will always keep its cadence. It's unfair to be like, Tyler, the Creator, isn't versatile, when he seriously is. Even if it's the same style, it's portrayed in such different ways that it stands out from the rest of his discography. While Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost are sort of like introductions to these things from a very intimate perspective of things like love and fame, Tyler, the Creator, outright makes the statement that it's almost horrifying, that it's different and outright impossible to understand to the average person. Tyler, the Creator, tells a story of how narcissism, fame, and love are all horrifying in their own way over retardedly good production, as he always does. I think this is a new start of an era for Tyler, the Creator, and that his albums may even come in duologies. He continues to tell his personal story, creating a damning masterpiece. That's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I love you so much, Tyler, the Creator. Your music has meant everything to me for years and will continue to do so. Please sub and like, and I'm signing off, y'all. Peace.